Chris Brasure here. I'm really excited to talk to you about the topic that I'm going to discuss here, and that's 5 awesome recreational therapies for TBI patients. Now, recreational therapy is something that should be fun, and it should be helpful for the rehabilitation of somebody with a traumatic brain injury. And it made me think about a client that we helped out, and the client had a traumatic brain injury, and he and his son would enjoy building cars together from scratch, like from the ground up. And the client had a son who eventually had to take over a more commanding role as they were building cars together, because before, when the son was growing up, it was always dad that was, ordering the parts and putting them on, and the son would watch. Well, after the traumatic brain injury, the roles kind of reversed, where the son, who was 18, kind of took over the ordering parts, and they would work on putting things together. And it was lovely to hear their stories about how it helped not just our client, but his son too, not just in the rehabilitation, but they continued to bond in that way. And it just helped in so many different ways with their relationship. So let's talk about just 5 of them that I've seen work and have in the research I've done seem to be helpful. The first one can be painting. Now, painting is great for fine motor skills, memories, and it's peaceful. And unlike me, the TBI patient might actually be a good artist and enjoy taking the time to create something that's all their own. Second, actually kayaking. Kayaking is good because it's outdoors and it can increase strength, as you're paddling, and coordination, which has physical benefits and coordination benefits. Third, it appears that walking, as simple as it may be, can really be helpful, not just for the physical activity, but while you're walking, you can ask the TBI victim to remember trees or buildings or landmarks, and not only are you getting some exercise, but you're outside and trying to stimulate memory and work with the TBI patient on memory. Fourth is yoga, which I do from time to time actually. It calms the mind and it helps it's supposed to at least. It does work most of the time for me. And it helps the muscles stretch and build, which is obviously great for the TBI patient's body. The next one is adaptive sports. Now, this is really cool because there's everything from wheelchair basketball to modified cycling for people who may not have use of all of their limbs in addition to a traumatic brain injury or along with the traumatic brain injury. So there's all kinds of adaptive sports. And the last one, this may be 6, but you'll have to forgive me, because as I was coming up with this list, it really made me think about listening to music, because my wife's family member had cognitive deficits and her memory really was gone. But what was so interesting is whenever we would turn on music, even though she couldn't remember who my wife was most of the time, and when she got to that point, then as soon as we would turn on music that she was familiar with, she would remember every word. And it was so cool. And even sometimes there was dancing, which was, great physical activity, obviously. And it was a really wonderful outlet. And so these are just a few of the examples that I wanted to share with you about ways that there may be some awesome recreational therapies that are available for you or the TBI patient or the family.